All right, we are back and live with another Red Dead 2 stream as we are winding down our Let's Play of Red Dead Redemption 2. Our last video already being part 75. We just began part 2 of the epilogue, so really winding things down here. We're almost getting to the kind of the debrief stage of everything. And ultimately, I think everything is kind of culminating and coming together so that we'll finish off kind of right where the original Red Dead picks up. I imagine that's kind of how things will run here. So I suppose only time will tell. Just wanted to apologize ahead of time. Obviously, I did just eat my dinner, so you know, obviously, if there's a bunch of spaghetti sauce plastered across my face, I do apologize. I know it might not be the prettiest of sights, but it'll have to make do for now. Also, just take a second to say hello to all 10 of my wonderful subscribers. Hello, 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 hello. And now that that's over with, thank God I don't have like 1 million subscribers. Could you imagine starting every stream out? Could you imagine if that was my ritual to start the screen? No cool explosive intro videos, nothing like that. Just me saying hello 1 million times. The first hour of all of my streams. Probably take a bit longer than an hour, I would assume. There's a couple things I want to run through here before we stream too. I was reading an article on Polygon, or sifting through an article on Polygon regarding Red Dead Redemption 2's epilogue. It's titled Red Dead Redemption 2's Epilogue Fixes One of the Game's Biggest Problems. Works where the main story struggles. So it was a pretty, there's just a couple points in it that kind of stood out to me and in my perception of the game and how I feel about the game. Obviously, you know, Red Dead 2, the story itself is one hell of a commitment. We know that. We've definitely delved into this more than 100 hours through this one playthrough. This is already part 76, and it wouldn't surprise me if we hit 80 for sure. It's not 100%, but it's a commitment, whether you're just doing the story or whether you're doing, you know, the story in some sides or all sides. No matter how you play this game, if you plan on finishing the story, it is a commitment. And I'll kind of read this verbatim here. The game's final 20 hours took an emotional toll on me. Everything feels hopeless and everyone seems doomed. It breathes life back into the soul of the game. So those are kind of, you know, little tidbit points that I took out of it, but that's exactly how I felt. It's a commitment, and really the last 20 hours were a drag. You know, everything is very depressing. It does feel kind of hopeless. The characters do all seem doomed. It's a very kind of claustrophobic finale to the main game, and even kind of having Arthur die at the end is a very telling way of the direction of the final 20 hours of the game. It's the perfect way to finish those final 20 hours. The only way, you know, you could really see those 20 hours kind of finishing out, given all that was there. It was tough, but with this epilogue now, I've mentioned this before, even bringing this article up. It feels like a new game. It's a breath of fresh air. You know, new character, kind of new storylines. It almost makes you kind of wish that Red Dead 2, you know, you were playing with John Marston all along. But it's refreshing, and, you know, as long as it's been already, and as involving as it is for an epilogue, it feels necessary for the purpose of kind of debriefing after everything with Arthur Morgan. So I shared the sentiments of everything that author, you know, had to say in pointing that stuff out. And I thought that was kind of important to share with you, because I just thought that it kind of summarized my feelings on the epilogue. and the importance of the epilogue, and not just extending the story, not just extending the entertainment value that you're going to get out of the game, but really kind of adding that that relief after the my God, it was just like so much negativity around camp, and some of the characters that we were hanging around with, Dutch and Micah. It was just really miserable. It was like an ominous cloud over Arthur everywhere we went. Everything would just kind of turn bad for us, and then obviously it was really I think it starts to go downhill around the time that Arthur contracts tuberculosis. I think that's really one of the defining moments. Everything goes downhill from that point. It's just a downward spiral. It's kind of a snowball effect. The snowball effect with everybody leaving from camp. Just an energy, the vibe, right? So the epilogue kind of picks the player back up again a little bit after all of that craziness. So one other thing that we did in the last video, part 75, something that I haven't really addressed in this game, and a couple different places in the overworld in different cities have this, but the photo studio. So we went there, and it's just a place where we can take photos as John Marston, or if you're before the epilogue in the main story, you can go there as Arthur Morgan, and you can take different portraits. So supposedly, and here's another kind of feature that I haven't played around with too much, we have this camera. This is a handheld camera, and I don't think I can take it out on the horse. I haven't utilized this very much throughout the game, but I guess the idea is that you can take selfies. So again, same idea that we had in the photo studio. We can change our expression, we can change our pose. There's my new property in the background, so I guess this is a very fitting picture to take. That's my new place in the background there, I believe. So I guess that photo will work. But yeah, I mean, it's always been there. It's been kind of on our item wheel, just outside the binoculars, and you can also we've talked a lot about the beautiful scenery in this game, and you can take advantage of the camera to do like scenery shots and whatnot as well, which I think is super cool. But the picture that I took at the photo gallery actually appears in one of the Stranger missions with Charles. Back in, I believe it's Saint-Denis, we go to his gallery for a side mission. We did that with Arthur, and we did that a while ago, and because we had no portraits taken at the time, obviously none of them showed up there. But you can also... You should be able to access those photos through the social club as well. So I'm not a part of the social club. I don't do a lot of, online play interaction, so I won't delve into that too much here. Let's see if I can pull it up. I don't want to sign up or anything like that, but... Okay, so we have actually used our camera before. So these are the pictures that we took, the quest. Wow, it's been a long time since I used my camera. So these are actually all the pictures I've taken in my entire playthrough of the game. Here's the most recent one that we just took at the photo gallery in... Blackwater. So this is how we can also access the photos kind of quickly. They are in our possession, and it's dated to when I took the picture in game, I guess based on the console date. So the date that the console is set to, which obviously in this case would have been April 5th, excuse me. Here's a picture I took last July 21st. Tells you how long this Let's Play has been going. We've been going since the earliest picture here was taken on May 18th of last year. So that's probably right around the time when we first began the game. These pictures of dead bodies were all part of the Jim Boy Calloway series of missions, the Gunslingers. So that's why they're there. This was one gunslinger that actually went on to live after our interaction. So it's a picture of her living. And then this was a little KKK cutscene thing that I came across in the forest, and I thought it was a very interesting shot. So I took that as well. Very telling of the time period. So yeah, that's just once you take photos with the camera. Again, haven't used it a whole lot, probably won't use it a whole lot going forward, but a cool and interesting feature to highlight there. When I went to the photo gallery last time, I didn't know how to access the photo once it was taken. I didn't know how to pull it up on my own, so I thought it was important to kind of highlight that to start this stream as well. Once again, thanks Maya B for the shout out on that one. Last but not least, the mysterious writings. This is something that I kind of wanted to cover as a side gig. The mysterious writings in Blackwater. I did a little bit more research on the mysterious writings. I believe they're supposed to be of Aztec origin or something like that. Eventually, they convert to an alphanumeric code, and I believe it has something to do with an Easter egg regarding Undead Nightmare. I played the first Red Dead. I never played through Undead Nightmare. I think I started the game, wasn't really into it. I know I'm probably going to take some heat for that, but it was never really my thing, so I put it back down. Just never picked it up again. So it has something to do to maybe a shout out that some sort of Undead Nightmare DLC may release for Red Dead 2. Hard to say, but I think that that's the kind of the idea behind it. So we don't really need to go into too much further detail regarding that. It's not really a side quest or anything that I can accomplish or collect there. So we have one main story mission, which is with Uncle here at Beecher's Hope. He obviously helped us fix up the cabin, and over a fairly lengthy period of time, we were able to accomplish fixing up this new home after John Marston got the loan for the property. Apparently Uncle has some information for us. I assume we'll be rendezvousing with Abigail and Jack soon, where things will kind of return to normal. I'm not sure how long part 2 of this epilogue is going to be. Part 1 was enough for me to do a couple parts for sure, so I still think we have a ways to go. We'll hit that Uncle mission. We have another bounty poster mission in Strawberry, as well as one in Rhodes and Saint Denis, but they're going on the back burner for now. I will do this bounty poster mission, but we just covered a bounty poster mission last time, so that'll probably be in the next video that I go after that. And then the Albert Mason missions. This is the dude that we came across that was ironically photographing wildlife. And ironically, I say, because obviously I have a recent interest in photography, having visited the photography studio and delving into that social club as we just did. It's very fitting that we go out and do this set of stranger missions. I mentioned last time that particular series of stranger missions opens up way back in chapter 2, but I never addressed it with Arthur, so I think that is something we can do now before we finish the main game here. So that's up by Watson's Cabin. So I figure we'll do Uncle for now, and then we'll ride up to that stranger mission. That's the furthest thing away from me right now, so we'll just get that out of the way. If we stop after that point, when I start next time, then I can do the bounty poster and figure out where I am from there. Still not a 5-star bed and breakfast, but we're getting there. Look at this idiot.
Working hard? It's the lumbago.
Or hardly
If I
working.
overdo it, I'll get a relapse. It's very serious.
Get up or get out.
You can be so testy. What is it, constipation?
Guess you're my proof I'll never quite outrun my sins.
You got so sanctimonious in your old age. No wonder she left you. It's like rooming with the King James Bible.
Get up!
Ow! I'm getting up. Oh, no, wait, what did I have to tell you? I went into town. I got a little drunk. Oh, shit! Well, we gotta go. We gotta go to Saint Denis. Charles Smith is alive, I reckon.
Charles Smith alive? Really?
I reckon. Unless I dreamed it all, and by the sound of it, not doing too good neither.
Wow, so now we're jumping on a train to Saint Denis. This is, I honestly didn't see this coming. I guess maybe we can do the bounty poster down here in Saint Denis. Never mind then.
And my sister.
Here we are.
Come on, let's get off.
All right.
Back in Saint Denis. I never liked this place.
Oh, yeah. Oh, me neither. All right. Let's go find that big sour bastard.
Sure. Let's split up.
Good idea. I'll take the saloons, you take the slums.
Now, how about I take the saloons and you take the slums?
Yeah, maybe a bit more fitting. Ask about Charles at the saloon or the fence. So you gotta remember, this is the first time that either Uncle or John has been in Saint Denis in quite some time. It's likely that Saint Denis as a city could have possibly changed a bit since the last time we were here. I don't think we have to worry too much about being spotted. We've come because Uncle believes that, or he has reason to believe that Charles Smith, another member from our gang, is alive and well and living here somewhere in Saint Denis. So my horse fast traveled with us here, which should make getting around the city a little bit easier for sure. Yeah, rooming with the King James Bible. Uncle's got all the jokes all day long. Whose uncle doesn't?
Good morning to you.
Looks just like we left it. If I want to return back to Blackwater, if there's not really a whole lot going on in Saint Denis after we finish this mission, if all of my main story missions are back towards Blackwater, if they don't fast travel us back there, I can always take a train. I always say this, I'll just take a train, I won't ride, and then I end up riding because I'm obsessed with riding through the landscape of this game.
Bonjour.
Fence is just over here. I don't think I'm too far from the fence, so might as well stop by here first before we hit the saloon. Wonder if I can get through back here.
先生，早晨。
Maybe an indication of more immigrants in Saint Denis. This looks like it is a Chinatown of sorts.
That will be good for us. Good morning to you.
Hello. You're new to these parts, sir?
You just keep that head up.
Good morning.
I'll get a fruit. Come on, man.
You looking at a man at the end of his tether.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry to hear it.
Miss?
早晨。 阿特伯利小姐唔肯幫我找數啊！
This is the fence. I've been here a couple times for various reasons.
Bonjour. How can I help you today, sir?
Listen, you seen a big Indian fella?
Huh. In
Indian?
Yeah, a boxer.
No. Sorry, mister. No. Actually, yes. I think he's fighting, I believe. Fighting out behind Saint Saturnin.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
I wonder if I've got anything that I can sell to him while I'm here. I do actually have a few things that I could sell and make a few bucks.
I think they might be starting soon.
Okay, I hear you. I don't think I'm gonna be using these cards or anything like that. So, let's keep the cards for now.
I would head along that way. Saint Saturnin.
Just this gold pocket watch and whatnot. Quick cash.
Enjoy the fight.
I think those are all cigarette cards and whatnot. We'll hold on to that for now. Alright, so Charles is a boxer. This is the Charles from our gang and not the Charles Chatney, who has the art gallery that I was talking about, where portraits that you take at the photo gallery can appear during his set of side missions. This is the Charles from our gang, Charles Smith.
Fine morning to you.
And I'm completely going the wrong way here, but supposedly the fence owner there tipped us off that he's a boxer and that there may be a boxing match going on right now, potentially close by.
Yup.
My cousin got a hoodoo bag. He broke his leg the
Good
same day.
Lord, I was just beginning to enjoy some peace and quiet.
Asked that first barman I met, and he told me Charles was here. Not one of life's great mysteries, turns out.
Maybe that last dream wasn't a good
They
idea.
love a surprise, but they hate a massacre. And you are a killer. We both know what you gotta do. I'm leaving now.
You don't know the half of it.
John? You're...
I'm alive. So are you. So's he.
That's Uncle?
What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm alive.
Uncle thought maybe he was in some sort of trouble.
Kind of, just... I don't know. I'm throwing fights for a few dollars.
Throwing fights?
Sure.
And you like that?
Of course not.
So,
let me go place a bet. Come on. Man, I thought you were dead.
sure. Abigail's still alive too, only she left me.
Excuse me. I'd like to place a bet.
On who?
On myself, to win. Lone Wolf.
How much?
All of this.
Okay. Funny thing, I pegged you for the favorite, but the odds just got real good. What about you, sir? A little wager on the wolf here? Real redskin brave.
It's my boy Charles. Of course I'm going to bet on Charles. I'm not going to bet against Charles.
Sure, I'm a fan of the wolf. Give me a bet on him.
I am a fan of the wolf.
Treat for you. An epic battle between the descendant of ancient warriors and a not-so-noble savage. On my left, a ferocious battler from the valleys, Simon of Wales. And on my right, an Indian Hercules. The savage, the untamable, the unbeaten, and dare I say unbeatable, Lone Wolf. You know how this works. No weapons, no forfeiting, no crying like a beaten child. Everything else goes. You win by knockout, you win by retirement, or you win by death. Let's have a good fight, boys. Let's keep it clean, but not so clean. Looking strong, Potter! What is this? Come on, Simon, hit him! What is this? This is
Oh, damn.
Go, Rolls! Kill that bastard! What's he doing? Redskins!
Damn, Charles just kicked ass.
Come on, Lone Wolf. Gotta get you the hell out of here.
Hey, Lone Wolf, whoa! How? Made my month, but you also made some fellas mighty unhappy.
So it goes.
Here's your share, partner.
If we'd just made the bed I said we
So you keen on staying around here or heading off with me and Uncle?
But, John, I haven't seen you two in years.
I know. But right now, my sense is you just need to lie low.
Where?
We got a little place up past Blackwater, in the high country.
Okay. I gotta grab my baggage. I booked a steamer heading upriver. That's why I was pretending to throw the fight.
Okay, boys. I'll meet you at the bridge outside Saint Denis.
What are you doing?
Oh, just have a few errands to run.
You're useless.
I am a deep thinker.
Be quick.
Come on.
Look at John, one by one, kind of getting the gang back together. We got Uncle and we got Charles now. We're halfway there. No, but for real, it's cool, kind of one by one. Charles, what else is new? Another member of the Vanderlyn gang, also once again falling back on his violent tendencies. He's a big guy though, so boxing is something that he could totally do. My understanding is that he was throwing the fights so that people would bet against him, and then when he enters the fight as he just there, then he shows everybody that he's actually not as bad as he made out to be for the first few fights, and he bets high on himself and then wins that last fight. So he's able to benefit from it. It's kind of like an old trick, like cheating at its finest. It's like playing a game of pool. And, you know, you tell somebody, hey, I really suck at this, and you pretend to suck. You know, but then as they keep throwing money at you to try and beat you, as the stakes get higher and higher, then you kind of show your real worth and make a real bang and screw everybody out of their money, because now everybody's betting on not you, on the other person, right? For favorites. So, interesting. Man, scheming his way to make a living. What else is new from a former member of the Vanderlyn gang? But now Arthur's saying, "Hey, you got to lay low for a little while. So why don't you come? Why don't we just call Dutch and Mike and get them up to the new place too?"
My bag's on the dockside. So, what happened?
You mean back then? Arthur helped me get out. Gave me a chance to live, I guess. You know that Arthur...
Sure. Word got to me up north, so I went back and buried him in Miss Grimshaw.
I had to run. If any of us had been found, we'd have...
Oh, of course. I understand. He's where he would have wanted to be. A pretty hillside, facing the evening sun.
He gave me his satchel and some of his things in it. Remember that journal he always drew in? I got it. I'm a bit of a draftsman myself nowadays.
So I didn't recall John being given Arthur's satchel and journal like directly. You know, I obviously didn't catch that in you know, maybe that final encounter between John and Arthur, but that kind of explains that, and a little bit of closure there from Charles saying that he was able to bury Arthur. Pretty hillside facing the evening sun. So a little bit of closure with Arthur.
As much as any of us could be.
Getting sick like that has to rattle a fella.
Rattle him or give him some kind of understanding. what his life was really all about.
Yeah? That makes sense.
Anyway, I heard all you were dead. Or I might have come looking.
And me, the same about you.
Dutch?
Who knows? Dead? Maybe? I'm not sure. I heard all kind of things, but one thing I know, he ain't around here. I ain't heard nothing real in years since, well, that time.
Nor me. Micah?
I hope that bastard's dead.
Yeah, me too.
You know, he was the one speaking to them agents.
What?
Putting them on us the whole time. Or since before I got off Sisika.
They picked up Strauss. The agents. Made a real mess of him. I heard he died in custody. Never said a word.
Guess some folk is strong in ways you can't see.
Everything that happened. All those deaths. Micah?
None of us is innocent in that. Dutch, least of all. But I don't think we would have had to make those calls. All that mayhem. If it wasn't for...
Okay. Hold on.
What?
Careful.
Why?
Those are Guido Martelli's men.
Who?
He used to work for Angelo Bronte.
I've only been here an hour.
Hey! Come over here.
What now?
Well, you go left, I go right. On three.
Mm-hmm.
3.
Let's go. There's a wagon up there. I'll get my bag.
Okay.
Come on, John. I'll drive.
The cops will be on their way. Okay. Where was Uncle gonna meet us?
Over the bridge going out of town. West.
Hold on. You see any law?
Not yet.
Keep your eye out. Saint Denis ain't short on police.
Now, we know something about Saint-Denis not being short on police. And just like John said, what are the chances 1 hour being back here in Saint-Denis? Saint-Denis. How long has it been since we've been here in Saint-Denis? And within an hour, we're already getting the dust blowing again. It's like you think that the dust has settled, and next thing you know, Angelo Bronte's name is already coming up again, and we're already getting involved with
only too well.
His mob connections.
Good so far. Further we get from those gunshots, better chance we have of denying it, at least.
No, we can't get caught. Martelli has the police chief in his pocket. If they take us in, we won't get out of the interview room.
I don't want to get in a shootout over this. That's not the man I try to be anymore.
No, I don't want that either. You see anything? I think we're clear.
If I ever want to go back, remind me that I hate Saint Denis.
Guido Martelli will happily remind you of that.
Give me some simple folk and wide open spaces. Speaking of simple...
John! Charles! You boys been off getting up to no good?
Kind of. Been getting shot at.
Well, they weren't very good shots. Come on, let's head for home.
I don't remember Guido Martelli's name being mentioned a whole bunch before. I don't remember having too many run-ins with his mob men, but obviously he's connected to Angelo Bronte, and we have a kind of shady or shaky past with Angelo Bronte, and kind of our history as a whole in Saint-Denis has been pretty shaky, so it's better to just get the hell out of Dodge not stir up any more trouble than we already did in the 1 hour that we were there. Crying out loud, Jesus. Back at Beecher's Hope. Bare Knuckle Friendships. So that was our first official mission completion of Epilogue Part 2, I believe, anyways. We're 90% story completion according to the compendium, so yeah. Go to Saint Denis to track us down. So now we got the 3 of us here at Beecher's Hope. We have a few new main story missions that have opened up. So we did indeed fast travel back to Beecher's Hope. I figured they wouldn't keep us in the Saint Denis region. There's not a whole lot out there for us. We do have a small bounty that's accumulated as a result of that shootout. So we're going to want to address that. Again, the only things out east that I have any interest in doing are the 2 bounty posters. Jesus. My English ain't very good on this one. One in Rhodes and one in Saint Denis. So, but honestly, not a huge deal whether or not we complete them. We already got our plate full with a poster over here in Strawberry. So I don't want to really do too much else in terms of main story here for this one. We have a new Sadie Adler mission that's opened up in Blackwater. Sadie said she would meet you in Blackwater in Honest Day's Labor. That might be a chance to make a few more bucks. We've done a good job of getting money in our pockets the last couple vids, including this one, selling some of that stuff. Sadie, obviously, we know is working as a bounty hunter, so I imagine there might be some more cash involved in that one. And then another one with Uncle here at the ranch, if that's what you want to call this place so far. So what I'd like to do here is ride up to do the Albert Mason mission, save and quit. That'll be it, and then we can do the bounty poster here in Strawberry to start the next one, and then both of these main story missions if we get the chance, or at least one of the 2 to focus on for our next one. So I find when you're doing story missions like this, especially when you're kind of rapidly going at them, you don't really have to watch your cores quite as much. I don't know if they reset after some of those main story missions. I imagine they do because time is elapsing. There's not really a lot of exploration and stuff outside of story missions to do right now. Well, the only real optional thing, I'm not really going to be doing too much other extra content. This series is pretty much coming to a close within about 5 videos, I would imagine. Oof, anyways. Already thinking ahead. So the only real side thing is the bounty posters. And they are not really that much to handle. The last Albert Mason... Is it Albert Mason? I can never get this guy's name. Albert Mason. The last Albert Mason mission we did was pretty straightforward. He was photographing wildlife. A coyote took his bag or his pouch or whatever, and we had to take care of the coyote. I killed the coyote because my first instinct when I have a gun and I'm in danger is to shoot. No, I'm just kidding. It seemed like the most logical thing to do to not look like a fool chasing after a coyote. So that's what we did. Hopefully no more animals will be harmed in the making of the Albert Mason missions, but that I cannot guarantee. We can hope. And if we all hope, keep our hopes alive, that's all that matters. This has been an inspirational word from Sweetfish Plays. Yeah, I doubt it'll be too complex of a mission. interesting that it was considered a fan favorite among stranger missions. Not sure if I'm in that boat just yet, although we haven't even really scratched the surface of these Albert Mason missions, or so that's my understanding. Once again, I'll mention about the ratings going forward. Obviously, we are winding down Red Dead, which means we'll be starting some new series very soon. Any M-rated content will be... Just another prisoner transport. Any M-rated content will be rated 18 and up on my channel going forward. I didn't follow that policy with Red Dead, but I kind of changed my policy halfway through my Red Dead Let's Play, so just, you know, something to note. If you're under 18 and you try and access M-rated content on my channel and you're not verified, you may have some issues. Like, if I had had this policy when I had first started Red Dead, these videos would all be only for 18 and up as well, but I was already partway through it, so I didn't want to change. Just a note in passing. And of course, I hope that everyone is staying healthy with COVID-19, staying well-fed, well-hydrated, safe, practicing good social distancing measures, listening to their local public health offices regarding instructions.
He comes to pass through the eye of a camel, and no mistake.
And most importantly for me, make sure you're watching at least an hour's worth of my videos a day. Because if you aren't, you're slacking off. And I take real issue with that. Get that view time count up for me, folks. We're pushing. Little detour through Strawberry here as we head up once again to the Albert. Good lord, every time I try and say this man's name, it comes out as verbal diarrhea. It's not even a complicated name. It's like, I don't even know how many letters. 12 letters? 13 letters? Man, my brain is just mush tonight. Something in that spaghetti I ate. Good to know that we are already bonding level 3 with this horse. We've talked in great lengths about my feelings about this. Talked at great lengths about my feelings about this horse. Wow, that was a weird sentence. Not the best horse for John Marston, but Maya was also quick to point out the size difference between Arthur and John. Arthur looks even more out of place on a Morgan horse than John does, but this horse will do. Morgan horse is obviously being, I believe, the smallest breed in the game. I owned a horse that was a Morgan horse that I named Morgan earlier in this game with Arthur. This is now the second Morgan horse I've owned. It's like a little pony. Definitely no Clydesdale. This area is beautiful because you're kind of getting real close to the Grizzly Mountains. This has always been one of my favorite places in the game to traverse kind of anywhere just at the foot of the Grizzly Mountains. And even going up into the Grizzly Mountains can be one heck of a ride. I haven't been up that way up north in a while. That's where it first started, like Chapter 1 OG, back when we were like 20 in the gang. And I remember when the game started and we were making our way through that storm kind of down off of the Grizzly Mountains. Back when our first camp, when we settled finally at Horseshoe Overlook. But it's such a pretty area around here. This is one of those areas where the closer you get to the Grizzlies, the more you have to pay attention to temperature, because it can get quite cold up this way and rather snowy. So you want to make sure that you've got maybe some items on your horse, an extra jacket to take with you. I haven't had to switch clothing for temperature too much in the game. I always have multiple outfits available on my horse, but I haven't really had to turn to them too much. There's been a couple times in the Saint Denis region, obviously being the bayou, very warm, where I've had to maybe kind of strip down a little bit, take a couple layers off to cool off. And there's been a couple times up in the Grizzlies where I've had to either make a sacrifice and get in and out as quickly as possible so I don't freeze to death, or bundle up. But it can rather dangerously affect your core, so it's something that you'll wanna keep an eye on for sure. You can't negate it. You can't ignore it. If you play Red Dead 2, temperature will become a factor at some point. So this is the Arcadia for Amateurs Stranger Mission. This is the second part.
As long as it doesn't pick up, we're fine.
Hey, it's you again.
Hello again.
Hello. Oh, hello. How are you, sir?
Marston. Mr. Marston.
I'm sorry, my nerves. I'm not quite the outdoor adventurer I thought. This is God's own country, and I feel I'm in purgatory.
I know the feeling.
Oh, I hope not.
What you trying to take a picture of? Some more greedy coyotes?
No. Wolves.
Wolves. So you're determined to get yourself eaten?
Oh, I hope not. I left the meat over there. I thought I'd be safe. Given the wind.
Sure. If you've managed to attract the world's least intelligent wolf.
Well,
I'll wait with you for a while. Anything shows up, I'll protect you as needed.
You are a gentleman.
You don't know me very well yet.
Well, to me, you're a gentleman.
Usually, I'm worse than the wolves.
You had many dealings with wolves, Mr. Marsden?
Sure.
But you've never been eaten.
Not through a lack of trying on their part. Had a bad run-in with some once. Some friends of mine saved me. Wolves ain't great fans of man.
I don't blame them.
This is kind of ironic for me to be doing this this mission where he's photographing wolves. Obviously, I believe early on in the game, John is attacked by wolves, and we go out and save him with Dutch and Arthur. I know he gets attacked by something, and we find him kind of disheveled and alone up in the Grizzly Mountains area. As a matter of fact, I believe. So I think that was kind of the significance of that line. So a bit of irony that now we're looking after the wolves again. Yeah, John knows a little thing or two about wolves. And most recently, I think I was attacked by a pack of wolves. When that song started playing not that long ago, I think in the cut-in, maybe into the epilogue or something like that, there was supposed to be a nice song that played out as I rode somewhere. Oh, I think it was To Go Meet Sadie, and I got attacked by a pack of wolves instead. So yeah, as a matter of fact, I do know a thing or two about wolves.
Shh. There's one. I think we got company.
Yes, there they are. In the trees. Now, don't do anything. I'm going to take a few photographs. Come on.
It's actually really crazy seeing them this up close.
Come on. Stay back, stay back. Can't have a man in the frame. They'd think it's staged.
It's sort of it.
Look at them. Magnificent creatures.
Especially when they're clawing at your eyeballs.
Come on. Stay still, my beauties.
I got this guy off to the side, kind of sketching me out a little bit here. Don't do it, buddy. Don't do it. Don't do it.
They don't seem to be fans of modern technology.
No, no, sir. I don't think so.
They look like they may be fans of you.
Please,
They was running your business too, till you strung up that.
Oh sh!
Mr. Marston.
This was a fool of an idea. Oh, yeah. They ain't so very friendly, are they? You wanted wolves? You got wolves, Mr. Mason. I'm getting it. Is that all of them? We might have kept the wolves from the door.
Holy
Come on,
Christ!
snap out of it. You're
Son
safe.
just got mauled by the wolves again there. Holy Christ, that did not go as I planned. So I originally thought that this horse over here, my horse. So I went running to my horse to try and get myself a little bit better equipped there. I should have known going into this mission I was going to have to protect him, because all I had was my pistol, and I was getting absolutely mauled to death by these wolves. I'm kind of lucky that I made it through there. Look at this guy. Barely makes it through the coyote stage, yet thinks he can graduate himself to the wolves. Yeah, right, pal. Thank God, even as Arthur, I've learned how to take care of a pack. God. Get up.
My whole futile existence flashed before my eyes.
Yeah, they can be pretty aggressive.
What a way to... Literally a dog's dinner. Still worse things happen at sea?
Do they?
Well, I imagine. Perhaps wolves do better at sea. Are they good swimmers? Well, who knows? You have saved my poor foolish skin once again.
Don't mention it.
Well, I can't begin to repay my debt of gratitude. But no, I am eternally in your debt.
I do, Mr. Mason, I do. You take care now.
And you too, sir.
All right, that's that then, I guess. Man, that was a lot of wolves, and it looked like there was a big mama wolf there among them as well. Look at that beautiful mountain in front of us. Man, what a time to be alive. Holy Christ, this is what I love so much about the scenery. I can't get enough of it.
There, boy.
So, similar enough to the first kind of part of the Arcadia for Amateurs Stranger Missions. Very similar to the first part, him photographing animals, us kind of having to protect him from said animals in one way or another, either the animals stealing his stuff or trying to eat him for dinner. I think it's time that he stops going to the big dogs, literally, and goes to the chipmunks and squirrels. He's a little bit better suited for it, no? So that's that. I imagine that that kind of this strand of Stranger Missions will continue at a later time, just like that one did. We've only got the main stuff open right now, Sadie Adler and Uncle, as we talked about, and another bounty poster mission has opened up. This time in Blackwater. So there's actually 2 bounty poster missions that I can do now to make a couple bucks. One in Strawberry, one in Blackwater. The one in Strawberry, I'm going to save and quit here. We'll start our next Let's Play off with that bounty poster. And then I'll kind of see where I'm at. And I'll I'll definitely do this Blackwater one again before we go over and do anything in Rhodes and Saint Denis. That's just where the other 2 bounty posters are, but again, we have our plate full with bounty posters here, so that's going to be it. Just trying to take care of at least these 2 bounty posters and these 2 side missions here, Uncle and Sadie, and that's it. So just don't want to quit in a bad place here personally with my cores or my horse. My Deadeye is kind of low, but I'm not too concerned about that. Clean and calm, good. All right, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get those counts up. I'm gonna aim for, we'll aim for 1,000 likes on this video, and if we do that, I'll do a well, I'll upload 2 videos this week instead of one. How about that? It was a joke. I really shouldn't be making jokes, but that's all I got for you. Hopefully, I was entertaining enough for you in this one, and we will get together another day, shall we? From all of us here at Sweetfish Plays, we wish you the best. Later, Gators.